Coming to you from the great state of Wisconsin, this is a CS27 Studios production. You're listening to the Binary Brothers Podcast featuring Ryan and Clay. It's time now to open your ears and prepare your mind because life's too short to be constrained in black and white. So without further ado, here are your hosts, Ryan and Clay.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Binary Brothers Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Clay, and with me as always is Ryan.
Hey everybody, that's me.
Sure is. Today's episode 24, is not going to be about Jack Bauer.
No, not a single moment about Jack Bauer. Not even the moments we've just spent.
Mostly probably because of copyright issues.
Copyright. It's tough out here.
Yeah, it really is. So we decided to pivot and go with a separate topic.
Yeah.
Of cheating.
Cheating.
And all that entails. The morality of it, the idea of it. I'm just going to talk about it.
Yeah. Just throwing out there.
Yeah.
See what we got to say, right?
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of Kiefer Sutherland, did you know that he has a band?
I just assume everyone in Hollywood has a band. That's just my assumption.
He does. He has a band. My wife went to go see him.
Oh, they're like a touring band.
Yes.
Like
they went on, she got a signed poster. It's right here.
No way.
As you can see. You can't.
I can't see. We're in separate rooms.
Yeah.
Separate houses.
Yeah, but they went to go see him, and apparently it was funny, but also fantastic. And they got to meet him, hang out with him for a minute. It's clearly a small thing. I don't think anyone thinks to themselves, "Oh man, I'm gonna hit up that sick Kiefer Sutherland show this weekend."
Now, is this band called Kiefer Sutherland and?
Oh God, what is it called?
And the Rockettes or something? Something crazy like that? The Kiefer Sutherland Experience?
No, I think it's something more along the lines of the Kiefer Sutherland Experience. No, God, what is it?
Now, is he the lead singer or lead whatever the band does? Or does he play an instrument? Or what does he do? Do we need to get your wife on this?
I mean, she would probably know more than I do at this point. No, I think it's the Kiefer Sutherland Band. I think that's just what it's called. Yeah, it's a whole...
I'm surprised.
It's a whole thing.
When I think of...
Ooh, a new album out, April 26th.
Brand new album? Oh my.
Wow.
See, I figure if there's actors or actresses with a band... It's more local to California type of thing. But apparently he's touring.
Oh no,
nationwide.
He was here.
Worldwide, maybe? International tour?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I mean, does he go to Canada?
I mean, that counts as international, you're right.
Canada or Mexico or something like that?
Different country. I'm not sure.
I mean, I would count it as an international tour.
I think you legally have to.
For
it
sure.
It is another nation.
Right.
He had to bring his passport. Hashtag Ryan Brown.
Well, I guess they would call it a North American tour. They did that. I think that's the proper term, but screw that. I'm going international. I'm saying international. If I ever create a band and we go and play in Canada, call it an international tour.
An international sensation.
Yes.
If there's not one single newspaper or blog that writes international sensation, insert Clay's band's name here, performs in Canada, then I'll be upset.
Well, that's what I say about me. I'm an international hockey player.
Yeah.
Because I played up in Toronto once.
Exactly. I mean, I've only done one thing. I've done a few things in a different country. I went to Jamaica.
Bahamas, come on, pretty mama.
Yeah.
Key Largo.
Montego. Baby, why don't we go down to Kokomo?
Stop.
He's trying to hit all the islands.
Copyright might get us if we keep going.
Again with the copyright.
I know, it's a cruel world out there.
I mean, at this point, we might as well just talk all about 24 then.
Right.
We've already
So
done
did
it.
you see? Wait, did they had a new season, didn't they?
I think they had like a new miniseries thing.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, never watched.
I didn't watch it.
Of 24.
I mean, I'd seen episodes like way back when because my parents watched it,
Yeah,
and then just living with them, it happened.
as one would. It happened to you.
It could happen to you.
Do you know where your children are?
Jack Bauer will find him. I don't know. He was more interested in saving the world, really. Yeah, I didn't see like the miniseries or whatever that came out recently or whatever.
They brought it back for a little bit.
But that's all right. So we should probably get into our normal routine here.
Yeah.
Warm up a little bit.
Yeah. Can't go in cold.
No.
Always
That's how
make
you
sure
pull
to
muscles.
stretch. Yeah. And you don't want that.
Nope.
I mean, the other day at the game, Cardinals, not enough hustle.
Not enough hustle.
Could tell they were trying not to pull any muscles, but
Right.
I mean, you got to put in some effort.
Right. And that's the reason they lost that game.
Yep.
We were there. We saw it.
We were there. For history. This is officially a history podcast.
Right.
Choose history. So what are you looking forward to? What do you got on the docket?
Oh my
as the
goodness.
kids say?
Oh my goodness. I'm leaving in 2 days from the recording of this podcast.
Yes.
I'm leaving in 2 days.
Where are you going?
I'm going down south. Going
The
down
deep south.
southeastern. I can't do a southern accent.
Yeah, well.
So
It's not for
I
everybody.
apologize if I offended anyone with that.
I mean, you're about to go to the South. I'd suggest not offending people in the South.
I'm going to do my
before you
best
get
not
there.
to.
I mean, we have a lot of Southern listeners, and they were probably very offended by your...
My hope is that by the time they listen to this podcast, I will be already gone.
Right.
Like, I will be in and out.
Best case scenario. Like a ninja.
Yep. No, but I'm going down to Georgia. Going down to Georgia.
Okay.
Gonna go witness Augusta National.
Eat you a lot of peaches?
Millions of peaches. Peaches for free. Yeah, I'm gonna go see Augusta National, the Masters. It's like a once in a lifetime type of thing.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Perhaps. So I'm super excited. Like the only way to pay face value for tickets is to enter a lottery through Augusta National.
Okay.
To get tickets. And this was my 4th year doing it, and it was the first year I got selected.
Nice.
So I'm quite pumped about it.
As you should be. It's exciting. You get to see, it's like practice rounds, right?
Yeah, I get to see a practice round, which means I can bring my camera. Cell phones are not allowed on the grounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Just in general?
They're really strict, yes. I mean, I'm sure members can have them. But in terms of like the Masters tournament and all that, like spectators cannot bring cell phones into the grounds.
Well, they don't want people like broadcasting, right?
Yeah, you can't have video equipment either. But I think it's more than that. I think it's just, I mean, it's a very traditional place.
Yeah.
But during practice rounds, you can bring a camera, to take pictures. So I will be doing that at least. I will get some good shots for the gram.
Do it for the gram.
So I'm gonna yell that to Tiger.
Please,
do it for the gram.
Please get kicked out.
No,
for screaming.
I don't.
Do it for the gram.
Oh my god, that is like my worst fear. Is so I got 4 tickets, so I'm bringing three friends.
Yeah.
And my worst fear is that they do something idiotic that gets them kicked out, which then means like I get like my ability to buy tickets, like I'm banned from buying
You're
tickets.
You're going to get blacklisted.
For life. Like, that's what happens if you mess with them.
Ban hammer.
Like,
they're going to come down on you strong, and you're never going to watch another round of golf again.
I'm trying to find it on TV. They somehow blocked it.
Like, no, not this guy. Not this time. We're the PGA, and we're very serious.
It's not even the PGA. It's not a PGA event. It is.
Is it not?
No, it's not.
I don't know anything about golf. There's different golf things?
No, well, yeah. I mean, there's PGA and there's the European Tour. But
this is America.
Right. So PGA is America, but it's not a PGA event.
Oh.
It's the Masters is an invitational event, and the PGA Tour just like it's essentially part of the schedule.
Okay.
Like they know about it and schedule around it, and they acknowledge like the winners of it and give them points for winning or whatever, for standings purposes for, the season.
Okay.
So, like, it's part of the PGA Tour, but it's not actually run by the PGA Tour.
Huh. Interesting.
So that's kind of the uniqueness about the Masters and all that surrounding it. So, like, when I went to the U.S. Open, which is actually also not a PGA Tour event.
Oh, God.
It's actually sanctioned. The Opens are sanctioned by, like, the governing bodies of golf. The PGA is just like a tour, kind of. It's like a different thing. But, like, the USGA, the United States Golf Association, puts on the Open events, like the U.S. Open. So, the difference between like the U.S. Open and the PGA Tour events is to get on a PGA Tour event, you have to have a PGA Tour card. You have to be in that league.
Right. To get the job, you have to have the experience, but to get the experience, you have to have a job. I get it.
But, I mean, there's other ways to get on, but like that's essentially it. And then for the U.S. Open, they're open tournaments, which means you can, like your average Joe could go and qualify for it. That's like the whole
Happy Gilmore situation?
Pretty much. That's like the whole story of, if you ever watched the movie Tin Cup.
Never. Is it good? Should I add it to my list?
I mean, I would always suggest people watch it. It's corny. I mean, so is Happy Gilmore, but
add it to my list.
It's what's his name is in it? Kevin Costner is the lead actor in it. They play that movie all the time on the Golf Channel. Just FYI, late at night, you turn it on, it's gonna be Tin Cup.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's basically kind of the premise of Tin Cup is the guy qualifies for the U.S. Open and makes it and plays in it and stuff goes down. Yeah, so that's what I'm excited for, I guess.
Well, that's awesome.
How about you?
Oh, me. Well, I guess the closest thing, kind of. I don't know. I'm torn. Practice is actually starting. We had tryouts.
I was gonna say, yeah, your football season's got to be starting pretty soon.
Yeah, the season's coming up. June we start first game. June, so be
June?
there or be square. But yeah, we're doing that. So that's exciting. But other than that, did I tell you we're getting a dog?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're totally getting a dog. We're getting a golden doodle.
A golden doodle?
Yeah, which when we originally started talking about getting a dog, we're like medium-sized dog, and then now we're getting a golden doodle, and that's a big dog.
A very big medium.
It's just a medium dog. But yeah, we found this breeder, and
you're not doing rescue?
No.
How dare you?
I know. We're monsters. That is a story, and I fully expect to get that from people. But at the same time,
I get it. I'm just giving you crap.
We did our thing, but yeah, we put down a deposit on this dog from this like super small breeder that
isn't that weird?
Like 3 degrees of separation to find this person. Like a small breeder is weird.
No. Like putting down a deposit.
Yes.
For a dog, for a pet.
Yeah. They're like, hold a spot in line for a dog. we're gonna have a litter, and the deposit you put down, and it's non-refundable unless like they don't have as many puppies as they're supposed to, or they don't survive or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know how long ago, like a month or so ago, or a month and a half ago, put down a deposit, and then we're gonna pay them the rest when we get them. But they're like due. The puppies are due in a little under 2 weeks.
Oh geez.
So,
you guys had a cat, right?
we did have a cat, and now we don't have that cat.
No, we don't. I'm not going to press that issue, but
I mean, we had the cat. The cat was a thing. He sure was a cat.
He sure was a cat.
I don't know. He got to be a bit much.
Okay. But the dog won't. The dog won't be too much.
Well, here's the deal: is the dog might, and we're not going to drop the dog though. I don't know. The cat was like this weird situation, at least according to me. And I don't know. It was like a found cat, and then he had it, and he was fine, but then he got like terrible, and It was just like, you can't. There's only so many times you can clean the house because he's run around after peeing.
Oh God.
On stuff. So it's like, we got to get rid of this cat.
I'm just going to edit that part out because I don't think our listeners want to hear that.
No, they're not going to like it. So yeah, the puppies are due in a couple weeks, and it's going to be exciting. Hopefully we get to go down at some point and pick them, and then I think in June we get to go like actually pick them up. So they're going to like train them up some and do whatever.
Do their thing.
Yeah, they're going to do their little golden doodle things. And
have you seen the parents?
Yes, we've seen the parents. I mean, like online, like they.
Oh, you haven't actually met them though.
No, they're away.
Oh,
they're like, where it's gonna be a drive.
Oh,
to go get these dogs.
Okay.
So, but we've seen like they have like a Facebook like page.
The dogs have a Facebook page?
Yes, and so it's like they post all the time about what they're doing and how everything's going and all the stuff, and it's a whole experience.
I bet. I actually had a Twitter account for my dog once.
Did you?
Actually, I mean, it's still probably up.
It probably still exists.
But the dog passed away senior year of college, so that was
a little while ago.
A long time ago. Yeah. That was kind of fun though, to kind of do a little Twitter account for him and just post random crap. Like what a dog would say.
Right. I feel like that's a fun time and something that I might end up doing at some point.
Especially when I was in like college, So like have some time on your hands, you can just
run an account for your dog.
Make some crap up. Yeah, so dog's name was Nugget. And he was a mix between a golden retriever and a Sheltie, or collie mix. So 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 his name was it was at Nugget Dog or something like that. And we could probably still find him on the Twitter. But in his description I put, "I'm a mutt, I sniff butts."
Nice.
Yeah. I was pretty proud of that little slogan. Not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, you did it.
I did it. But I haven't had a dog since. Well, technically it was my parents' dog, but I haven't gotten a dog on my own. I kind of would want one. I would love one. I love dogs, but I'm just not committed enough for one.
That's the thing.
That's my only problem with it. Is I enjoy being able to take trips to go to like Augusta, right, and not have to worry about someone taking care of the dog or something while I'm gone, or whatever it is, So
it's a whole world of things to consider now.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing stopping me from getting a pet like that.
Yeah.
Even though I'd love to have a dog though.
I mean, our thing our thing is like, it's nice that Catherine has summers off, so that when we get it, she'll be able to spend like a bunch of time. And I'm gonna like, it's good that I live close to where I work, so I can come home for lunch to like take it out and hang out or whatever. So that was one thing that we were like concerned about. Like, are we gonna be home / hang out with the dog enough?
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
I mean, feel free to borrow our dog when we go out of town.
I mean, I've dog sat before when I was living up in like Wausau.
Yeah,
did that. That was fun. Yeah, we'll see. I'll have to come over and make sure the dog knows I'm its bestest friend.
Yeah, here's Clay. He's a cool guy.
I'm a cool guy.
I'm so cool.
Like Fonzie over here. Hey.
You're just all the time with the thumbs at our dog, and then that'll just solidify the relationship, and we'll
finger gun
on every a walk time. Down by the river, and we'll see the bronze fawns and be like, "Oh, it's Clay.
That's him."
No, Clay.
Why are you so bronze?
Dogs are apparently afraid of statues at some age. That's a whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen like videos of dogs like approach statues, and like, well, some really are just like trying to figure out why it won't pet them. Like they're trying to get them to pet or whatever. They'll jump on it or put their head by the hand or whatever.
Right.
It's like that statue just won't pet me.
What is this guy's deal?
I thought I was a good boy.
Oh.
So what kind of music you listen to?
Oh God, Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q.
Just right from the hip there, because a couple weeks ago there was I was on like the Hip Hop Heads subreddit, and someone posted a link to like a tweet that had a video that was like a preview of this song, and it's like coming out tomorrow. And I was excited because when was the last time Schoolboy Q came out with an album? Let's look. 2016. So it's been a little bit. And I love Schoolboy Q. I love TDE. I love Black Hippie. And to get any new of that stuff is amazing. So he's got this new song, Num Num Juice.
Num Num Juice.
Yep.
Sounds like a song by him.
It's a whole thing. It's not very long. It's 2 minutes long, but it's like it just gets after it right away. So like intense energy. It's Q. He came out with a video for it too.
The whole shebang.
Whole shebang. Solid. Love the song. It's been a song that like I keep coming back to over the past few weeks, and it's like, want to listen to some rap? Num Num Juice, and then we'll move on.
And we'll just let that lead us off. See where we go from there.
So yeah, rap fans, Q fans, check it out. What about you? What have you been on?
I mean, I've been on a lot of stuff since our last episode. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
This has changed to being like a monthly podcast now.
Right.
We really need to get our act together. But I've got like 5 different like side projects I'm juggling.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's the life, right?
Yeah. But one of them, I mean, is basically coming to the end. The hockey season's coming to the end, so like those videos will drop off a bit that I do for that.
Because the Hawks are out, right?
Yeah, they got eliminated. Their last 2 games are tomorrow and Saturday. So
okay.
But I mean, I have more videos that I'll be doing, and the playoffs I'll do some videos for that. So it's not like I'm completely stopping, but it'll be a lot less. Like it's. During the season, it's like every other night I'm doing a video or whatever. So,
yeah.
But that'll drop off a bit. So like just juggling all those other side projects, and then obviously scheduling, time that we're both available.
Right, that we're both, because yep.
So it makes it tough. But I don't want to like throw out excuses though.
Oh no, we're not making excuses.
We can be better.
We will do better.
We will do better. Well put. But so like since last time, I would say I've been actually let me just pop open my Spotify here.
That's normally what I do. I open it up and like, what have I been listening to a lot recently? And there, like you said, it's been a while, so there's been a few things that came out.
What have I searched for recently? I searched for The Who, but I know I didn't really listen to them a whole lot. I was just trying to find their song. What's it called? Won't Get Fooled Again.
Okay.
Because I wanted to use it, because you know how that song was used for CSI Miami, the whole yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's that song.
There's a video that's just a super cut of just a bunch of those.
Yeah. So I wanted to use that.
Caruso one-liners.
Yep. So I actually watched that video because I wanted to use it. I wanted to use that song or that part as like a little intro thing for one of my Blackhawks videos, recap videos. So I was trying to, I just searched on Spotify for that song. So that's why that's popping up. Otherwise, it's...
You're telling me that you're not just constantly listening to that song, in particular, that one part?
I mean, I was, but like I said, it's been a while since our last episode, so I've been listening to a lot of things. I haven't listened to that, for 4 straight weeks. Maybe like just one.
Maybe just 1 week.
Maybe just one. I think a pretty good kick of Janelle Monáe, probably, I would say.
Dirty Computer?
Oh my god, it's such a good album.
So good. You suggested it, and then I just... Such a great album.
Yeah. So like when I went to Summerfest last year, I probably told this story. I think I told this story during our Best of 2018 episode. When I went to Summerfest last year, like Kyle and I didn't really go to see anybody. We just went to go to Summerfest, just hang out, and we just happened to just stumble upon the stage that she was at, and I had never heard of her before then, and we stuck there for a little bit, and she put on a fantastic show, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna look up her music, and she had just released that album basically, and it's it's really good, and it was an album that I had really high up on my album of the year nominations for Best of 2018, but I ended up picking Metric's Art of Doubt over it. But I think that was mostly because Metric is, I think, more towards the type of music I normally listen to.
That you typically listen to?
Yeah. So that's why I kind of got the nudge over it.
Right.
But yeah, Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer is just an absolutely fantastic album.
She's on tour.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh, God. She's going to be doing a lot of tour.
Like international touring?
Like international.
Like worldwide?
Yes. Much like the web, she will be worldwide.
Prestige worldwide.
Black leather gloves. But yeah. Solid pick. Dude, it's great. Such a good album. I'm going to end up listening to that again.
It's not a bad idea.
It could never hurt, right?
No. She has if you search for Dirty Computer on YouTube, like artists will put out videos for songs. She literally put out like a movie for the album.
What?
Yeah, like it's
Emotion Picture.
Yeah,
it's 48 minutes.
Yeah,
long.
it's like it's the entire album, like put
Dude,
to
that's awesome.
Put to a film or whatever.
I love when artists do that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't seen it all the way through, but I started watching it. It was like late at night, so I didn't end up sticking with it. But
I can't get into this right now.
No, but it looked really like artistic. It was a good kind of little film or whatever. Reminds you of it was like an indie type of film or whatever.
Right.
But
Kanye West did like the same thing back in I think 2011 maybe with Runaway. So he has that song Runaway from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That album was one of my favorite albums because he just produced the hell out of everything on it. And then he used to do this thing with his record label where they came out with new music on Fridays for free and all this stuff. And he did a mini, probably half an hour, I think, movie called Runaway that, culminated in the song Runaway playing at the end, coordinated. Just crazy. If you haven't seen it, you should check that out.
Check it out?
Yeah.
I'll check it out. But beware, though, the short film for Dirty Computer does have some nudity in it, so probably not a good idea to watch it at work.
So I probably shouldn't watch it at work where my monitors face directly at my boss's windows. His office is right behind mine.
Unless you really want to go for a power trip. Then just put it on and then just turn your chair and just look straight directly into his eyes.
What are you doing, Ryan?
And just, what are you going to do about it? You can't get rid of me. You can't fire me. I'm
untouchable.
I'm untouchable. I'm Jack Bauer. I don't know how Jack Bauer speaks.
I don't know how that show goes. No, I'm pretty sure that's it. It's got to be
the 24 clock noise or whatever it is. Dun dun.
I'm Jack Bauer.
I'm Jack Bauer.
Like Batman's cousin.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the trailer for Joker?
No.
With Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker?
Well, I haven't. I've seen a couple teaser images. I haven't seen a trailer. I mean, everyone's mad about it. I don't know.
Is everyone mad about it?
I don't know. People I just feel like I haven't seen one positive thing.
Really?
From people that are writing articles online.
Oh, don't listen to them. Don't listen to people writing articles. They're just trying to get clicks.
But there's also the don't read the comments.
Yeah, don't read comments either. Just watch it and just think for yourself. Okay, that's really the best route you can go.
Wait. So you're telling me that what I can do is I can look at something on the internet or basically anywhere, and then let me see if I've got this right, form my own educated opinion?
I know it's tough to accept that that's an option, but it is.
I just don't believe you. I don't think that's the way it works.
I've been doing it all my life.
Oh. Except
for many times that I don't.
We can't all be perfect.
Right. But it was an interesting trailer. So here's the thing. It definitely looks better than Suicide Squad.
Thank God for that.
And when I mean that, I mean Joaquin Phoenix's Joker looks a lot better than Jared Leto's Joker.
Jared Leto's? Yeah.
Which is not really saying a whole lot.
Yeah, well.
But it's this movie is very it's not like a Marvel type of movie. It doesn't seem like a comic book movie.
Okay.
This is it's a movie. It looks like a kind of a dark, depressing kind of indie movie type of feel. Very much in the spirit of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight series.
Okay.
But it's not that. But it's more towards that kind of genre, I guess. It's more of like a storytelling rather than a comic book type of. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, you got to watch it, but I'm a little hesitant.
Yeah.
To like it, because like that's the type of style I really like, especially for the DC universe, or at least the Batman kind of universe.
It's got to be gritty, right?
Like, it's Gotham City. It's got to be grungy, gritty, like dark. So like that's why I really enjoyed the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was. But like the Joker in The Dark Knight, like that was the quintessential Joker in my opinion. Like, you can't get any better than that. In
most people's opinion, like that's like peak Joker.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to compare you.
So that's like that's the thing. Like, there's no way Joaquin Phoenix's Joker can live up to that.
Yeah.
So I'm hesitant. I'm really hesitant. Yeah.
Well, that's why I go into most movies with little to no expectations. So that I don't know. So I at least get a positive vibe out of it. But
yeah, I hear you.
It's gonna be hard, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, this Joker movie isn't, like, it's not canon to the universe, so that's another thing with it.
Right, which is like then they can do.
So yeah, you can
do whatever.
They can do whatever, and it's not, necessarily what it, what the universe should be or whatever, timelines and everything.
It's good to know that going in,
right? And
otherwise, like, people are just going to be like, well, this doesn't make any sense, and I don't understand, and I know everything about the books and the movies, and this doesn't make sense.
And then they're going to write articles about it.
And they're going to write the articles, and I'm going to read them and believe them. Damn it, Clay, I've been doing it wrong.
Right. But that's the thing, like, this movie is more like, it's more of like an indie dark depression film. Like, it's supposed to be, it seems like it's a movie about depression that just uses characters we know. Like, or sorry, maybe not depression. Depression might be the wrong word. I think, well, a mix between depression and mental illness.
Yeah.
Like, how a person, like a seemingly normal person, like, falls into that.
Right.
And like how a person gets molded into that type of character or that type of person. They're just so happen to be using the Joker. That's basically what it is. But it looks neat. I'd like to probably see it someday.
I probably will.
We'll see.
I like it.
You know how I am with movies.
Yeah, well, you'll get around to it.
I'll get around to it eventually.
While we're talking about movies, it's a quick hit on Quentin Tarantino's 9th film.
Oh yeah, I want to see that.
Okay, so I had seen on Reddit trailers go up for this. Did not realize it was a Tarantino film.
Oh yeah.
And so I just whatever, scrolly, went past it, and then guy at work the other day goes, "Did you see the new Tarantino trailer?" No, there's no new Tarantino.
Excuse me.
Sir, these are things I know about. But I did not. So I'm excited for that one. I mean, I'm always excited for Tarantino no matter what.
Yeah, he just puts out, I mean, it's his 9th film.
One more to go and he's done.
Yeah, but he just keeps putting out great movies. Like, there's not a single movie he's put out that's like bad.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Like, it may seem like it's not your, style or whatever, or like they're never, the hit blockbuster movies.
Right.
They're just really well handcrafted stories and characters that makes you like have to watch it again.
Right.
Because you don't necessarily understand everything that's happening or why the characters are the way that they are until you watch it again. And then you're like, oh my God, that is brilliant.
This guy with his movie universe and all of this stuff. Oh, so good.
Yeah, it looks really good. And it's got an all-star cast. I mean...
Right?
Like,
Margot
all of his
Robbie,
movies have all-star
Leo
casts.
Pitt.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Al Pacino and Kurt Russell. Yes.
You think Samuel L. Jackson will just make a little cameo in it?
Oh God, I really hope so. Like when I was looking at it, I was like, no, Samuel L. probably, this movie's coming out this summer, right? I think so.
Yeah, so he was probably...
He was busy with Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was probably busy with some Marvel movies or something.
I mean, who knows who knows how much he's going to play into Endgame, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched the Infinity War.
Oh my God, Clay!
I know, it's been on Netflix for a long time.
Jeez.
And usually I watch them when I get on Netflix, but the problem was when I saw it and I was going to watch it, and then all of a sudden, like, I feel like one of Tarantino's movies just got on Netflix right around that time, like The Hateful Eight or something.
Probably.
So I ended up watching that instead. I have no regrets about it. But, like, that was the thing. I was, like, all set to watch Infinity War, and then all of a sudden I just see Hateful Eight. I'm like, nope, we're changing.
The hard left here.
Hard no. So, yeah. What are we talking about?
Well, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
We're talking about that now.
Yep.
So that's our topic, cheating.
Cheating.
In the broad sense, we'll obviously dig into scenarios because that's how we do.
It's just what we do, baby.
So yeah, cheating. It's interesting. I feel like I should probably pull up the definition of it so we get a little.
That's good.
Little taste of what we're dealing with here.
Educational podcast.
Right. So cheating is an act or to act dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain an advantage, especially in a game or examination.
Yep.
Deceive or trick. And also then you got the be sexually unfaithful. So yeah. All of those. So I would like to point out, or at least I would like to make a statement at the beginning here, and we can go from there. Cheating, in my eyes, generally speaking, is not a black and white thing in terms of good or bad.
Right.
It's mostly bad, morally, ethically, but it has its uses and usefulness. And in those cases should not be necessarily judged all that harshly.
Right.
That is my statement on it.
I would have to agree. I don't think. I mean, I'm the type that, there's most things in the world are not black and white. So. Oh
right. I mean, yeah.
It's gonna be,
except for this podcast because we're binary brothers.
Exactly. And so yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be some sort of judgment call. There's always gonna be some sort of scenario, and whatever cheating is happening can't always be 1000% always like the worst thing or demonized or whatever,
Right. So I guess so. We agree on that in the general, broader sense.
Right. Broadly.
So let's now go into specific examples and see how we view those, if those match up with the broader sense, or if those are more, or if those are indeed, black or white.
Real offenses or not a big deal.
Yeah. So, obviously, the first thing that a lot of people think of when you think of the term cheating is in the relationship sense, right?
Right.
Romantically.
There was a whole show. Cheaters,
yeah. And it's the basis of so many storylines, too. Right.
So much unfaithfulness.
Drama and storylines and stories and films that you just want to make, you just want to punch the characters for their decision making. A lot of times it's used very poorly. Like, it just makes characters seem like idiots.
Yeah, it's always it's always got. I mean, if it's a device for a movie, it's always there to develop drama.
Right? Exactly.
So it's going to be ridiculous, and it's going to be like the writers and everything. Like they have pointed it. They're saying this is bad. This is what you should be thinking.
Yeah. So in this sense, for me, I'm pretty well. Okay, so I'm black and white with it. Like it's like there's no excuse for it. Like don't do it. Like
right.
I've never been in a relationship and just had any sort of possible thoughts come to my mind. Like, yep, you know what? I'm gonna go cheat. Like that just doesn't happen for me. I don't understand. I really don't understand the thought processes of people like that or that do. But at the same time, the definition of what cheating is very... It can change from person to person.
Right.
Like, for some reason, some people out there think, like, going and just kind of, like, flirting with somebody at, like, a bar is cheating. Like, just straight up, like, flirting.
Yeah.
Like, that's not really...
And it's like,
anything.
It's in... I don't know.
It's a dick move, but it's not.
Sure.
It's not cheating.
When you read the definition, it's like to be sexually unfaithful. But yeah, there's plenty of people that are like, yeah, like you are cheating at me by doing this or that. And
right.
It's like, yes, is that, like you said, a dick move? It's not acceptable behavior, but I think it's at that point. I think it's a semantics thing, right? It's really like you're saying cheating, but it's really it's really something else.
Right, but
I don't know what to call it.
No, right? it's just to me, I would call that just lack of communication. Like that's something that should just be like, okay, what are the boundaries here? Like,
right.
If say I'm in a relationship and I go out and having a good time and there's somebody and I just kind of flirt with them a little bit. And then, my partner is just like, hey, don't do that. Like, I don't like it when you do that. I'm going to knock it off.
Right.
Like, you know what? You're right. I crossed the line.
It would just be straight up disrespectful to not, right?
Exactly. But it's not like cheating.
Right. Because
obviously
there has to be degrees to thing, right? Like there's, as they say, there's levels to this, right? So it's like breaking the law is, everyone's jaywalked. Right, so it's like you've not crossed the street at a crosswalk, and it's like jaywalking. There's degrees to it, and I think you're right. I could agree that it's communication thing. Like you should never cheat, like the full on like cheating, never a thing. But then like it becomes a communication point where it's what does someone else consider cheating, and at that point it's what is being respectful of your partner or not, right? Because some people are completely fine, like with all sorts of things, and it all depends on what kind of relationship you're in and what you're doing, and so, and that's where like flirting with someone, that is not black and white, because that is like that's something that, like you said, communication. You talk about whether that's acceptable or not, or it happens, and then someone tells you it's not acceptable, and it's like, okay, cool.
Right. And that's something that can like differ from relationship to relationship.
Right.
Sometimes like you and your partner might be really into it, like seeing, you know, your partner like go and like flirt with somebody, you know, and just, you know, kind of see just how the other person like reacts to it or whatever, and
think to yourself, I got myself a winner.
Yeah, exactly. like you, or make like side bets or something like that, you know. Like, hey, I bet you can't go up to him and, you know, get him to buy you a drink or something like that. Right. You know, stuff like that. It differs.
Free drinks, get them.
Right, exactly. So like it differs from relationship to relationship, and it really kind of depends on what you as, you know, partners decide on and communicate upon, and what your boundaries are.
Right.
If your partner's doing something like that and you don't approve and you decide to break up because of that or something like that, you're not breaking up because of cheating. You're breaking up because the dude's a dick.
Right.
I mean that's my opinion.
Yeah. Behavior wise, it's like I keep saying, it's just straight up like disrespect.
Yeah.
If you've talked about it, or I mean, like obviously there's stuff you don't talk about. It's
right.
Like, yeah,
right.
Don't go do that. But yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, that's a very complicated subject. Yeah. But that's kind of our thoughts on it.
Definitely a hard no on the cheating.
Right. Hard no. So let's kind of move to a different situation now. Cheating, where, in my opinion, is very acceptable.
Okay.
And that is, well, at least from our experiences, in competition.
Yes.
So, and blanket statement, you might think, oh, that's not acceptable, Clay.
Clay, I'm not cold. I don't need a blanket.
How dare you? But as Ryan can tell you, playing the offensive line, he probably holds every single play.
Here's
probably
the deal.
Breaks the rules every single play.
I'm out here breaking the laws of football every single chance I can get. Because my motto is I'm gonna hold.
Oh yeah.
Every single play.
Oh yeah.
And it's not holding if I don't get caught.
Exactly. The thing is, there is rule breaking going on every single play by someone.
Oh yeah.
On the field. And there's no way the refs are going to call a penalty every single play. Because, well, that would just ruin the flow of the game.
Yeah, it just couldn't go on.
People wouldn't watch because there'd be they would just be, I guess I'm watching the refs today. They're playing a pretty good game out there, those refs.
How are the Zebras?
Really good out there. They're up 20-0.
That's what I would really love to tune into, is just a flag fest. Just yellow everywhere.
Which ref can throw the most flags?
Get him a bucket full of flags. He'll just be out there running around. It's literally a competition, Jerry.
But yeah, so like it's not going to be called. So as a competitor, like you try to bend the line. You try to find where that line is. You try to get yourself as much of an advantage as possible within the gray area of the rules. Right.
And it's like things like, I don't know, like receivers and DBs, you know, going up against each other. And like, there are rules to what you can and can't do.
We're jostling out there.
And you do it, and it's just like, they're not going to, first of all, they're not going to call everything, like you said. And beyond that, sometimes it's just too hard to call. Like, even if you would want to, like, you can't really tell.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, in my position in the trenches, like I'm in the middle of everything.
There's so many people around.
So it's like you can get away with some stuff in there, and people have, and they will.
All the time, yeah.
And it's just like, it's kind of one of those things where, like, in competition, you know, you you know what the rules are, but you're always trying to get ahead of someone, and you know that there are things that you shouldn't do according to the rules, but like if you can do it and get away with it, you know, most people are going to say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this thing. And it's so many like minor little things, like you said, like holds, you know, like a guy's getting away from me a little bit and, you know, I might grab him some.
Yeah, just a quick little hold, you know, just to slow him down just a little bit.
Right. Just give that running back a half step.
Just a half step is all you need sometimes.
That's all you're trying to do.
And if you're good enough, you'll do it sneakily enough that refs like don't really even see it.
Right. You know, there's refs out there that probably, you know, they see things happen and they let a little back.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, right? You know.
Yeah, I'm sure they see a lot more than they actually call, but it's more just kind of knowing the situation, and it's what you would call in baseball like the refs or the ump's strike zone.
Yeah.
Every ump has a different strike zone. Like there's a general guideline to what it is, but every ump has a different one.
Yeah.
And so during a course of a game, whether it be football or baseball or whatever, you're basically, especially in the early stages, trying to find where that strike zone is for the refs.
Yeah.
You know, what they're going to actually call. What are the boundaries?
Yeah, like what are they going to put up with? I mean, we've had before some games, like some refs will in like before the coin toss, they will be like, we're not going to put up with this. We're not going to put up with that. And it's like, okay, go back to the sideline, tell your guys, hey, by the way, this crew's tough. So.
Yep. Yeah. Like that's if there's good refs in a game, they will be constantly communicating with you.
Yeah. Those are the best crews.
Like that's the thing we don't see on TV. Is just how much communication there is between refs and players or coaches. Like that's why I just absolutely love seeing the kind of not really behind the scenes, but like the...
You know, they do like mic'd up?
Yeah, like the mic'd up videos. Especially for me, especially in hockey, in the NHL, because like the refs and the players are just chirping each other back and forth. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
But they're constantly like talking to each other. And especially with hockey, because it's such a fast sport. Like for me, that is the most difficult sport to ref.
Yeah.
I like not only do you got to see things and see a puck that's traveling at 90 miles an hour, you also have to be like skating while you do it.
And
right? And avoiding people like there is so much to it.
Getting out of the way all the time, and it's like for one couldn't skate.
There is no out of bounds in hockey. Like the refs can't just stand off to the side.
There are a few areas in which they can like hop up.
Yeah. The puck will and does hit them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that doesn't feel very good. And then the refs and the players complain to him because the puck hit him, like, let it go around, let it go. And it's like, well, I couldn't do anything. You literally hit me with the puck. It's traveling way too fast for me to react to.
What do you want me to do here? Do you want me to become Casper and it just goes right through me? Is this the thing that you need? Because I can't do that. I'm alive and I'm roughing this.
Yep. So there's situations where, like, you gotta, like, cheating is kind of encouraged.
Yeah. I mean, there's some competition in some games where it's like, yeah, like cheat. Like rules, I don't know, think about like some drinking games.
Oh yeah, I mean drinking games are always about cheating.
It's like, here comes this drunken debauchery. Yeah. Like I'm gonna do whatever.
I mean that's where the saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's where that kind of comes from.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's definitely like in competition. It's funny, I mean, because like this is still technically competition too, right? Like you're playing a game, maybe say hypothetically you're playing a game against your 7-year-old nephew. And
hypothetically, very specific scenario.
And then maybe you're in my living room and we're playing a game, and you might you might cheat a little bit. You might try and get away with something. And it's obviously not fair and not a good thing to do, but it's, to be honest, a bit funny sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Or like my wife and I playing, like we play chess against each other sometimes, and it's like she might leave the room, and as a joke, I'll be like, move this thing around. She doesn't notice. I'm gonna keep playing the game.
Well, right, yeah. It's on her to call you out.
That's mostly because she's way better at chess than I am. And
yeah, so you gotta make it a little bit more fair.
I need all the help I can
you
get.
You gotta cheat a little bit to make it fair.
Is really what I'm saying.
Yeah, but obviously then there's situations in competition that we just, cheating like that is just, no. You cannot do that. We will not accept it.
Right.
And usually that involves performance-enhancing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Biological things.
You ever watch the documentary Icarus?
I don't think so.
It's all about Russian doping.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was in Rocky. What was it? 2? Rocky. Which Rocky movie was?
Full disclosure, never seen any Rocky movie.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Whatever. The one where he faces the Russian dude.
Yeah. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, so like in that movie, they show him like juicing up and everything.
Yeah.
But there's no way Sylvester Stallone wasn't also juicing to get himself into shape for that movie.
Right?
He totally was. Rocky, the character, may never have juiced, but Sylvester Stallone definitely did.
Juiced.
I don't have any evidence for that, but I'm calling it out.
Yeah.
Like there's no way.
Anyone's legal department wants to reach out, that was fully unprecedented and a joke, but at the same time, definitely he did it. So
yeah, right.
I mean,
like, yeah, but yeah. So we, let's think about this. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know how much you were into it back then, during the '90s, when baseball kind of had its steroid era. When Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa they were, battling each other out for the season record for home runs.
Right.
Beating, Mickey Mantle's record, Babe Ruth's record. There was, everyone loved it. Everyone was captivated by it.
Right? I mean, when people just, go nuts, people lose it. People love it.
People love it.
Yelich,
yeah. Who is definitely not on any performance enhancers. But you look at the guys back then. You look at them; they're freaking huge. You look at Barry Bonds, how he transformed early in his career to what he was when he hit the 70 home runs in a season or whatever.
Yeah.
He totally juiced. He was juicing so much. It's obvious to look at it.
Look how little this guy is.
But when McGwire and Sosa are just, hitting balls out of the ballpark, they're hitting dingers. You're just loving it. And all of a sudden it comes out that they were juicing. There's steroids. Sammy Sosa got caught with a cork bat.
Oh, God.
And all of a sudden, everything you knew was just flipped upside down.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's they obviously get so big and they just start performing like crazy, and it's no one thought to themselves these guys are really on the juice, huh?
Yeah. Nobody really even thought about it. Nobody was really thinking, are they taking steroids or not? I don't really care. They're hitting home runs right now. It's fun.
Exactly. That's the thing. Is people don't care. People don't care until people get a hold of it that really do care, right? Once people find out, and it's then it's like, okay, this is a big deal. And then there's the other side of the coin where it's like, some people say, well, if everybody's doing it, then, is it a big deal?
Right, and that's where, like, the Tour de France comes in.
Exactly.
And Lance Armstrong.
And that's
that
like
whole thing.
Icarus was like... Icarus was about... There was a guy, and he was cycling, and he just wanted to see how he could get better. And he thought, maybe I'll do an experiment with, like, steroids. And this was just literally this guy from America just deciding, I'm gonna try it out and see, like, how many gains I can get. And it turned to this whole thing where he's, like, working with this scientist who was from Russia and basically the head of doping for that, and he was for years. And it's like, if, like, everybody was doing it, especially the Russians, but, like, everybody was doing it, and it's like, how do you, I don't know, it's against the rules. And that's where, like, the morality comes in, right? Because if you're playing a sport and you know that everybody else is doing a thing, it's like, oh, this is just what everybody does. And, you can fly under the radar, you can beat tests, you can do whatever else, but at the end of the day, it's still against the rules. It is cheating, and so morally it's wrong. And it's just, you do it, and then, sometimes you end up being the villain. You're the one who gets caught, and it's, people really care. But if people knew that everyone was doing it, would they care as much? And like you said, they're there for entertainment. So, they got their dingers. What do they care?
Yeah, it's sports are it's entertainment. It's also athletic ability, but with the amount of money that is in sports now, it's more than just athletic ability. It is entertainment.
Yeah.
It is straight up entertainment now. And so when you get to that level, everyone is really good. And so if you are just, doping or doing the same amount that everyone else is, like, you're not going to break through. You're not going to, the drive to win a championship, to get a big contract, to perform at that level on that stage nationally in front of millions of people and have your name known by all those people? You don't think there's a voice inside your head that's going to be like, just a little more. We got to, we just got to push it just a bit more.
Yeah. I think that's another side of it too, right? Like, I think people in sports probably, especially with PEDs, it's like you're doing it so that you can meet those expectations and so that you can stand out and, you can get the big contracts, you can do the things. It's like, yes, you're cheating, but sometimes it's just there's this outside pressure that is maybe like driving you to do it. Everybody knows, you get pressure, it's peer pressure from outside, whatever it is. And, that has the ability to affect your decision making and what you're going to do and how you're going to behave in general.
Right. And so when everyone's breaking the rules, like the Tour de France, when Lance Armstrong won 7 of them, like, yeah, he got busted for doping. So did the next, 20 best cyclists.
Yeah.
Like, they were all doing it. And quite frankly, for anybody to be able to do the Tour de France, 24 stages of that type of terrain and length of biking,
it's nuts.
Day after day for 24 days, or how many stages there are. Especially at that speed or whatever, the times they're doing it at, to be able to recover, because that's another big thing. Medically, steroids are used quite a bit for recovering from injuries.
Right.
So you recover for an injury and you take steroids to recover faster because you want to miss less games so you can play more.
Because this is your life.
You
right?
have
this is your livelihood.
Yeah, right, exactly. The NFL average career is 3 years.
Yeah, you're going to get as much as you can out of those 3 years.
You get 3 years to make as much money as possible to hopefully set yourself up and your family for life.
Right.
A lot of guys go bankrupt, but like that's the goal, right? You don't have a whole lot of time to do it. There's no guarantees with any of it. So there is a huge amount of pressure to be able to perform, and any little advantage that you can get, you kind of tend to give it some thought.
Right.
And I mean, and like, you know, how far do you go with it in terms of, you know, so steroids are obviously steroids, right? But if you even look into just like painkillers, like no major league pitcher would be able to pitch past June in a season without painkillers. No NFL player would be able to play more than, I don't know, half a season without painkillers.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And we just watched like John Oliver's newest, like he focused on WWE.
Yeah.
And you know, part of that was you're like expected to perform and you're expected to do all the stuff, and you know, the doctors will check you out, but they'll be like, oh, well, you got to go to this thing, so I'm going to clear you. And it's like you end up on painkillers, you end up addicted to all this stuff, and it's like you do what you have to do to, you know, again, keep the money coming in for as long as you can, and hopefully, you know, turn out fine on the other end for the most part.
Yeah, and there's like I'm not really that big into, I don't really ever watch WWE or those events. But and everyone knows it's, you know, staged.
It's scripted, right?
Right,
yeah,
it's scripted.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows that. Yet people keep tuning into it because it's entertaining, because it's still actually you need to be athletic and physical to be able to do it.
Right, like they're legitimately out there doing moves.
Yeah.
They're out there slamming stuff into each other, or like jumping around, running around, doing all this stuff. It's like, it's got to take a toll, like, on the body. Like I go out and I play and I smash into other dudes, and I don't feel great on Sundays. And like, I could only imagine if I were like with no pads, just getting slammed around or tossing people around, or even just like having to toss someone else around.
Yeah,
that much. And it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. Like, obviously, you know, I don't condone it, but I understand where it's coming from, why people do it.
Right.
And I don't really, some people really judge athletes very harshly based on that stuff, getting caught for that.
Yeah.
I don't. Because quite frankly, for as many people as we hear that, you know, get caught, there's a lot more that are probably getting away with it.
Yeah, they just have to be.
And if there's a lot of people doing that stuff, the playing field isn't really, you know, it's kind of even then. You know, it's not really as much of an advantage just for that single guy or person.
And I mean, and that's not to say that it makes it right to do that.
Yeah, ethically it's not right. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, really excuse it, but
when it comes to people's arguments against it, right, and like people really judging it harshly, it's like, I don't know. I mean, obviously, you can't just because I'm doing it. Is it really that big of a deal? But like in the world of sports, right, where it's a competition, you're doing this stuff, and it's like, yeah, is it against the rules? But is it really hurting anyone if a bunch of people who are playing this sport are, on PEDs? Like, it's not a big deal.
Especially when you realize that all these different sports leagues have different rules regarding their substances and what they deem as illegal.
Yeah.
So there's no uniform thing that says these substances across all leagues are banned. It's a league by league basis. And there's some leagues like the NHL that sweep a lot of things under the rug, or at least deal with it internally. Maybe not sweep it under the rug, but they deal with it internally or quietly.
Yeah.
If a player has a problem, a substance abuse problem, they have a cocaine problem, something, a drug problem, alcoholism, whatever it is, they will quietly try and deal with it with that person to get them better.
Yeah.
More often than not. Rather than have news come out by the media that would essentially kind of damage the league a little bit.
Yeah.
Because these leagues are all about money.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's what it's really about. It's not really necessarily about who's the best athlete, who's the best at the sport.
Yeah, I mean, you're not...
It's entertainment.
You're not the NFL.
That's what it is.
Because you want people to really excel at football. You're not the NFL for that. You're the NFL because you want to profit off of the people that do exceed at a sport. The people that, will go out there and, like we were talking about, sacrifice their bodies for the entertainment of others. And it's like, you're not in it because you're the good guys, or because you're the only way that sports could be shown on TV, or the only way it could be facilitated. Because, before all these, all of the leagues and stuff formed, everything was just someone playing something somewhere, right? And then it, became organized in a way and on a bigger scale and on a bigger scale. And at the end of the day, yeah, it's all about money. It's just all about generating that off of what other people, the people with talent, are doing.
If the league can see someone make a ridiculous play, a highlight, man, that sells. That sells. So, cheating. Relationships, pretty black and white.
It's bad, don't do it.
Don't frickin' do it. But know the definition of it. Don't blame someone for cheating when it's not really cheating.
Yeah.
Competition-wise, it's very much a gray area.
Right. It is, like we said,
it's not right, but it has its place.
Right. And it has more acceptable levels. There's more give there in some areas, right?
Yep. So I think that is going to wrap up this episode's discussion. We've gone 20 minutes over our usual length, but it was a good discussion.
We got to get back on the bi-monthly schedule.
We really do. We really do. So that's our bad for that. So sorry about the lengthy podcast.
Sorry about all the great content that you've just
created. Oh my gosh. The amount of clips you could probably export from this to make us look bad.
Oh, God.
They promote cheating. Oh my God. These guys are awful.
Easy to just cut together like, oh yeah, you're
let's make this viral. These guys are dicks.
Please don't do that to us.
Please no. But it was a fun discussion.
Yeah.
But obviously everyone has kind of their own opinions, and that's a valid thing.
Yeah.
You just gotta find out what works for you. What do you accept?
Yeah, figure it out. Figure it out.
Figured it.
Thanks Thanks for listening to this episode of the Binary Brothers Podcast. We can't wait for you to tune in next time. But until then, make sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, and BinaryBrothersPodcast.com.